Hola
from
Barcelona.
It has been quite a
Day.
day.
Weren't sure if we're going to get here,
Holy moly.
and then they lost one of our luggages, or they didn't send it because.
Yeah.
Anyway, so who knows if we're going to get my backpack.
One of the girls at my work said something will always go wrong. She's right, today was the day. But they weren't going to put us on the plane. Then they ended up putting us on the plane.
At least we got 2 of our bags, not.
And then we only got 2 out of 3 of our bags. But
we got the 2
they
important
lost
ones.
the bag. That didn't matter as much.
Didn't matter too much.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we'll get that back. Anyway.
We're going to try and do some reflecting based on some questions.
Yes.
And we'll try not to ramble and do trimming.
Yes.
So the first one was from Joe's.
Yeah.
And feelings about O Sobrero. It's pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think we were both really buggered by that stage. We were both exhausted. Mitch was unwell.
But we knew it was going to be hard, so I think we actually pushed harder than we should have.
28 Ks, we knew we had a big day.
So we pushed hard.
That first 8 Ks was pretty much uphill, as you saw. And
so I think it was just an accomplishment getting there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it felt like a real accomplishment getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And a bit of disbelief that probably wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be. We kind of got a bit fitter.
Yeah, we did.
Josie's next question was how to keep going with blisters. And
well, you had them more than me. So
yeah. It was hard. Every time I put my foot down, you could feel the pressure of the blister. And that's why I went to my sandals. And eventually I was just like, these blisters are not going to burst by themselves because where they were, my heels...
so you burst them and then they sort of recovered. Where I think I had one blister on my toe, little toe, and I just went, this thing's not going to beat me. I just pushed through. Mm-hmm. Within, I think, the 3rd day, it wasn't hurting anymore.
Yeah.
So I just persevered.
I did buy some special band-aids for the bottom of my feet because I was starting to get a blister there, but that was okay. And I wrapped my little toes because, thanks Mum, I've got dodgy little toes.
How many photos do we take? You think
it's
sort
a
of
guesstimation.
30 to 40 a day, so yeah, about 900 to 1,000.
Yeah, and I reckon that's probably
videos.
an underestimation.
Yeah,
lots.
Favourite church?
Which one's yours?
It's really hard because we didn't look at every single church, but all the big ones have their own amazing bits.
Yeah, definitely.
Leon had the glass,
all the stained glass.
But in all fairness, Burgos was sort of probably the standout for me.
Yeah.
And Astorga was a mix between Leon and Burgos. So.
Yeah.
And then St James was completely different as well.
Yeah. I really liked Astorga because it was a mixture of Burgos and Leon.
Yeah.
Had all the carvings, but also had the stained glass windows. Yeah.
The next question was, what else did the Camino deliver? So definitely it delivered so much more on meeting people. And
lots of social interaction. And you might only just talk to somebody for like 15 minutes and they walk faster than you, so they go on. But then you might see them the next day and have breakfast with them or something like that.
But you're prepared to just talk. Everyone, once you realise if you got the language barrier, so there was lots of people on the Camino that couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
So for us it was like, okay, once we realised they spoke English, then you could pretty much... Most people was prepared to pretty much talk about anything about themselves or why they're doing it or what they're doing and how they're going.
Just got to try and start the conversation.
Yeah. The question was, what were your hopes before starting at the end? And I hoped that we could actually do it.
That would be good.
And
that we did it.
I was hoping to just enjoy the scenery and which did, Quite a lot of it. There was some
Yeah.
bits that weren't, but and then just hopefully that we could actually physically do it. I think we thought my knee was going to play up. We always knew feet and blisters was likely.
Yeah.
We underestimated it. There's no doubts about that.
The feet.
No. We underestimated some of the distances and
Yeah.
what we thought we could do.
Yeah.
We
Definitely.
definitely
Planning
could
to do a 32k day, it's not really smart for two 50-year-olds.
Or even just you thinking you could carry 8 kilos a day.
Yeah, 8
So,
kilos is, you don't think it's a lot.
Yeah.
But added onto your own body weight and you're walking 30k's, it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so we sort of expected, our expectations maybe a bit high. And then I think the reality checked in and
Yeah.
we did some adjustments to get to the
So
end.
that we could get to the end. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess my hopes were that we could do it, as Mitch said, and at the end, I guess, I don't know what the hopes are now. That we enjoy the next chapter
Yeah.
of our holiday. Yeah.
All right, I've got some questions from Stacey and maybe Terry.
So what did you learn about yourself and how
Did you
you cope? I did the usual Annette thing and probably had a bit of a sook and a hissy fit and leaned on Mitch a bit more.
Did you? I don't know. I think I learned that there's probably just, it was a good way to let go of work and stress and it just sort of put the simple things in life. You just got to get up, get there, eat, hopefully you get a bed at the end of the day. So it kept life really simple.
It did keep life very simple.
It just means that you can let go. So it was a good detox for me. Why the Camino?
Well, I was told about the Camino by one of my friends at work, and I thought, oh, that sounds really cool. And for some stupid reason, I thought we should do that. Yeah. And Mitch said, I'm coming too.
Yeah, I said as long as I can do it with you, that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Most memorable meal.
Another Josie question.
So I think
We're sort of taking it two ways.
Yeah.
What was memorable food-wise and what was just memorable.
So getting together with a few of the families. So
Yeah,
it was a memorable
Camino
night.
family when they get together.
Bellarado, I think, was one.
Yes.
Which was fantastic.
Yep. It was a Camino family night. And then
Montanas was another one with some other
yeah,
girls.
Yep. And then in Santiago when we got together with everybody at the end.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But the food, it's probably not super many outstanding.
No. We did
be
have
honest.
an interesting night at Boadilla. They served about 100 people. It was like a military operation.
And
but
it was pretty
the
good.
food was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
so some questions from Carrie.
Carrie Ann.
So
The price difference of things, now we've spoken about that a couple of times, but she wants to know what's cheaper and what's more expensive.
well, at the end of the day, the alcohol was cheap, and so was
Alcohol
the coffee.
is crazy
And
cheap.
coffee was cheap too.
You can buy a cold beer out of the fridge at the supermarket
For $1.
for $1,
So,
like a can. Coffee's cheap, but you do get a smaller serve.
yeah, so it's sort of about $1.50 euros.
Yeah, for a small cup of coffee.
small
So
cup
the
of coffee.
$3 Australian. So it's a little bit cheaper, I think. And soft drink is definitely more expensive. If you order a soft drink and a wine over dinner,
Soft drinks.
your
more-
soft drink will be more
more
expensive. Yeah.
So
And obviously you're paying more for food in the Meseta, in the city
cities.
than you are in the Meseta. The Meseta is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
accommodation, did it
Did it
live
live
up
up
to-
to our expectations?
most of the time? Yes.
Most of the time it did.
Annette probably picked.
I was
sort
a
of-
bit picky when I chose what we chose, location wise. I wanted
And
it to
we're
be on
probably
the
the higher
Meseta.
end too. We're probably
Yeah.
on the higher end of the.
We wanted private rooms with a private bathroom.
So that's the top end of the market.
Yeah, a lot of people just stay in hostels and things like that,
Right,
but
so
we didn't want to share.
You can get
a room with
a
20
bunk
people.
bed for €10.
Yeah.
and you're generally paying 60 odd euros for a private room.
But
So
there
me and
was-
Annette would pay 20 euros, and instead we pay an extra 40 for the private room.
Yeah. But I think the standout to the accommodation is often the host. Like we stayed at the Mill House, and Mercedes, the way she welcomed us into her home was amazing.
Yeah, so that's what I think in the Meseta, they didn't call them pensions. In Galicia, they called these pensions. It was a privately owned home
Like
slash
a hot
yeah
hotel. Yeah.
So all the pensions were good, I thought. So the hosts were,
Yeah.
you know, really good, and the quality was good.
Yeah.
So most of the time, they end up being up to expectations. We probably only didn't like one or two of the rooms.
Yeah. And that often has a lot to do with the bed.
Yeah, so there was, in general, most of the rooms
Spanish
were
people
fine.
have hard beds.
Yeah, one had the character, but then it was a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's squishy.
So yeah,
Bread-based food. So yes, you get bread with everything in Spain.
I think it would be really difficult for gluten-free or vegetarians, to be honest. I know you can do it, and they do cater. So you can buy salads pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
But you can't get a lot of vegetables.
No, you can't.
And it's meat and potatoes generally.
Yeah, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes.
So it would, I think you can do it, and we did one of our first, Jerry
was gluten-free.
And he was going to supermarkets to prepare lots of things.
Yeah. He was very highly, he had to be more organised about his food intake, like going to the supermarkets
So yes,
and things.
they're very heavily bread-based, and it's just that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but the bread here is different as well. It's not as sweet. It's it's good.
So the next one is funniest moments, and I guess there's not one particular moment, but we met a couple of characters.
We sure did.
And to be honest and truthful, sometimes there was a barrel of laughs. And, you know, when I had my little cough, there was one night where I almost had to sort of go and leave the table because I couldn't stop coughing because I was trying to laugh.
Yeah, Mitch's cough was getting good, and then we went out to dinner with John and Mike from Wales, and they
a grin.
make him laugh so much that he just coughed all night, and then
early on, Addy
from the Netherlands, he was
funny as
a hoot. Yeah. So
imagine if he got with the Welsh lads, like
I know.
honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it was the people. The
people.
funniest moments is definitely with the other pilgrims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next one, what's the next adventure? Well, at the moment,
We're in Barcelona.
we're in Barcelona. We've got our cruise, and we've got our friends.
Cruise in a couple of days, and then off to France.
So,
And we haven't really decided what to do after that, but we have been invited to the UK, so
who knows?
maybe we'll do that.
Is the end bittersweet? Yes.
Yeah,
In all fairness,
it is.
I think a lot of people sort of go another 100 kilometres
And finish on the
and they
coast.
feel like they need to do that because they don't want to stop. I think a lot of people do the Camino because they're not sure, and they think the Camino is going to find them.
Yeah,
what
you
their
never
next
find
step
yourself
is.
on the Camino.
But both of us aren't. You know, we had lots of plans to go, and we're obviously going to go back and work. So
Yeah. It wasn't a
wasn't like
life-solving problem for
yeah.
us.
where a lot of
It
other
was
people.
something that we just wanted
Yeah.
to do.
But was it bittersweet in the end? Yes.
Yeah, it was good to finish, but you know, by finishing, everybody goes home, and all these friends that you've met,
You know, you're not
you
going to
may
probably
never
see
see
them
them
again.
again.
So
So that's
yeah.
that is bittersweet for sure.
yeah.